You're tired of working day in and day out, trying to find new boomer customers, chasing leads, doing whatever work comes your way, and never getting to earn what you're worth. You do it because you love the work and you're passionate about serving the boomers. We get it. What you need is more of the right boomer customers for your business and more income for you and your family so you can grow your company and help more people in your community. Well, you're in the right place because this is Booming Your Bottom Line.
Hello and welcome to episode 53 of Booming Your Bottom Line, titled Fire 20% of Your Clients and Crush It in 2016. BYBL is here for the small business owners of America and beyond who are wanting to help more people and make much better money doing it by serving the boomers and their families and caregivers in the next 2 to 3 decades. This demographic is exploding and it's changing the face of so many industries. Get it right or drown in the wake of the silver tsunami that's upon us right now. It's that simple, right, Aaron?
Yeah, that's it, Mark. You know, small business owners have an opportunity with this demographic that has never existed in the history of the world. And the key to getting customer service and educational sales right with every customer encounter is what we're here to teach you. How to reach, connect, and engage with this huge demographic that's in control of the spending habits for the U.S. and other countries for the next 30 years and beyond. Have you ever dug deep enough into your business information and the numbers behind it to understand that taking a 20-minute phone call might be costing you $750? If not, buckle up and grab a calculator. I'm about to prove it to you. Today's a special episode of the BYBL podcast, and I absolutely love today's title. Look, guys, we're tackling a more advanced topic this week as we really want to get you thinking while you have some downtime over the holiday in the next week or two. I want to rattle your cage a little bit here. So get out your notepad, get ready to have your brain tipped on its side. This episode marks us moving into our second year for our weekly podcast. So we thought we would start to really step it up and get you thinking about 2016. Pushing that envelope as we prepare for some amazing new things that are coming out of Booming Your Bottom Line next year. You guys ready for that?
I know I am. Well, we'll talk more about what's coming next year for BYBL at the end of this episode. But right now, let's get to today's topic. Just know that you'll want to stay here until the end as we have an offer that you are not going to want to miss. So Aaron titled today's episode, and I was so intrigued when we discussed today's subject, firing your clients. That seems kind of counterintuitive, right? I know it does, but just hang on for a minute and you're going to see what we mean. If you wonder why you are putting in 60 hours a week and not seeing the profit that you were dreaming of when you started your business, this is going to be an aha moment for you. So Aaron, take it away.
Sounds good, Mark. All right, so I was reviewing my own company metrics for the end of the year, and I ran across something really interesting. I saw the potential in the story behind the numbers for an overhaul in a section that I hadn't considered yet for scripts and systems in the company. If you've been in business for a few years or more and you haven't studied your numbers and looked at your metrics year over year as information that's worth studying, you want to start taking notes right now. So in the past year at my architecture firm, where I now have about 35 or 40% of our residential design projects focused around or including aging in place design, I saw that in comparing my job numbers in 2015 compared to last year, the number of projects I provided proposals for went from 69 jobs to right now 106 jobs. That's an increase of 53.6%. Then I looked at gross billings and revenues for the year over year. That number increased by 36.45%.
Those are amazing growth numbers, Aaron. That sounds like a reason to celebrate, right? Wouldn't you all agree? So why is that something you'd want to look for issues with?
Yeah, Mark, it is. It's worth taking a deep breath and enjoying that for sure. Any small business owner would be happy with those numbers for year-over-year growth and tracking inbound leads and calls and estimates for work, and you should celebrate. But here I want to talk about looking deeper. Once you've been in business for more than 2 or 3 years, you should start looking at what you can learn from your numbers when you compare them. Okay, you're looking for ways to be more efficient, more profitable, and what we all want, work smarter, not harder, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I see in those numbers, I saw a new gap. I saw that the increased calls and the leads, the work I bid on, didn't equal the same increase in invoicing of billable hours, right? That equates to revenue. When you look at 54% increased bids for work, but only 36% in gross revenue increase, what I see, because I'm taking this downtime to reflect at the end of the year and look for ways to get better at what I do versus what most of us do, just continuing the status quo, the day-to-day grind. What you'll see is there's a gap of 17 to 18% in closed business that I need to look at. Now, understand there's always projects that I'll bid that don't go forward, or I might not get the work for some other reason, my price, or clients like somebody else better, timing, whatever, okay? What matters is there's a gap in the two growth numbers since last year. What it says is I missed out on 18% more projects, in theory. So even if you consider, and I have, let's say half of those, let's use round numbers, okay? 10% of them might fall in the category of coming out of the recession, we got some people ready to think about a project, but when you put a real bid in front of them, they said, not yet, we're not quite ready. They're testing the market, and that's okay. And the other part of that 10% might be that I was busy, and so I rounded up a little bit, and just to see where the ceiling was in the market as far as getting work and not getting work, and those are good things.
Good points, Aaron, and clearly you're onto something. Those are all important pieces of information for you as you continue your growth. So tell everyone what you found that you can study and improve on.
Okay. So, like I said, half of that 17 or 18% we haven't covered, right? So the other half of that, jobs I lost, of bids I did, things that didn't pan out. And those, aside from industry or economic issues, I had 106 job numbers or bid estimates this year, and I needed to think about the time it took to do these. You and I talk to remodelers regularly and business owners around construction who complain all the time about the free estimate issue, right? Mm-hmm. So look at it this way. When you consider that I take a call, return a call, coordinate an appointment, travel to the appointment, have the time on site, talking, taking pictures, doing some measuring, understanding the project program, then I drive home, then I create a spreadsheet, an estimate, I email and coordinate did you review it back and forth. For me, typically, it's a unique sales position of mine. Usually one of the photos that I took, I'll sketch quickly on top of a photo. So it's a perspective view of a possibility of what a project might look like after. And that helps them kind of get emotionally invested in the idea of doing the work to see what it might look like afterwards. But look at how all those numbers add up. I mean, think about what that math looks like.
Right, it does add all up, and I could see how it quite easily turns into 5 hours or more of work on your end to make all that happen. Now, everyone listening, please do understand that just like Aaron's doing here, meeting with clients and creating estimates, you've got to do that. You've got to keep doing that. It's key for your business growth. And it is the highest and best use of your time. We're both aware of that. This is what you should be doing, but the big question is should you be doing all of them?
Right, exactly. You're right on the money, Mark. You see, if I did 100 project estimates for round numbers, each one takes 5 hours. That's 500 hours out of the 2,040 available in a 40-hour work week for a whole year.
Yep.
That's freaking me out, right? So 25% of my 8 to 5 workday all year, I'm taking calls, meeting new clients, coordinating site visits, creating estimates. That's okay, but not when I see a gap, an increase of 18% between gross revenues and estimates and the time it took to do them. That means that 25% of my year mark this year was 18% less lucrative. Okay, not actually less versus last year, but less than it could be. That, my friends, is worth studying, learning from, and fixing. So let's say, clearly I'm a math guy, you figured that out by now. Let's say I make $125 an hour for a retail billing rate as an architect. 125 times 500 hours is $62,500. Losing out on 18% of that is $11,250 as a deduction to my billable time, aka income and paychecks to me during a year. I'm not okay, even with 36% growth this year, of leaving $11,000 on the table off the books that could have been in my pocket. Let's say I take home 70 grand a year. Again, just round numbers. That'd be a 16% loss in my income potential. $938 a month. That's 2 car payments, or a rent check, or a small mortgage, or kids' college tuition and lodging, or a dream vacation twice a year, right? It doesn't matter what you could have put it toward. It's not okay not to learn from the story behind your numbers. Would you accept that in your own paychecks as a missed opportunity? Nah, me neither.
Chowsers. Yeah, okay. Well, when you put it that way, nobody would.
Right.
No one should accept that as an ignorable amount of money in a small business. So Aaron and I have talked about today's episode in advance of recording at length, and I think there are a couple of things that you need to look at when you see information like this come to light when you're studying your own numbers, and you should be, right? I mean, they do tell a story that you can't see any other way except by doing this. So take the time, print the information, start looking for patterns or changes in patterns, seasonal differences, things that happen every year that you can plan for or save for. This is the point in your business when you've gone from startup and I can make it month to month. Now you're at a point of looking into how you can make things better, more efficient, more profitable. That makes sense, right? So here's the kicker. Fire some of your clients. How's that for empowering? Now, I'm the one that got to blurt that out. And yes, it was fun, but Aaron's going to talk about the why and the how. And he's doing this in the spirit of service to you, okay? Being very transparent about his business, his processes, and his income so you can learn how to do it better with your company and for your family.
That's true, yeah. So my father's a business consultant, and he was a programmer for 40 years in the petroleum industry. He once showed one of their biggest 3 clients how they could quit servicing, fire, 80% of their clients. And instead of adding another facility location for millions of dollars, they could close 3 of the 5 they currently had and actually make more money. That's crazy, right?
That is, yes.
So when I saw that kind of gap in my numbers, that's what came to mind for me. Who should I not have met with, not given my time to? Who should I have vetted well enough to know in my 20 minutes on the phone in the very beginning that they wouldn't have been a good client for us? I'm at a point now, not startup, I can start weeding out who I want as clients. And there's always going to be both ends of that spectrum, right? So this is for businesses that have been in business for a while. It's one of those inflection points or a plateau issue where you'll reach it after you've taken every job and any phone call that came in your door in the first couple of years. But I digress. If I stick with the idea that I left $11,250 on the table last year, and there were about, again, I'll split the middle, 15 projects that I should not have provided estimates for, wouldn't you look at how to clean the system up in your business? If you knew that a 20-minute phone call you took may have led you down a road where you lost $750 for every one of those phone calls? Yeah, me too. Have you ever considered the metrics, reviewing them for improvement opportunities like this, in this way, at this level of depth? Have you put in the mirror time to assess your weaknesses and make your business better? I just showed you one of my weaknesses so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and I bring that value to you so you can improve and learn from my mistakes. So for my company, I need to take the next 2 weeks and look at 2016, how to trim the fat and trust my gut. Trust me, I know probably 12 of the 15 folks I never should have met with. But you go against your gut sometimes. You want to believe that any phone call, any opportunity might pan out into billable work. I still struggle with it, trust me. So since we all have a tendency to go against what we might know in our gut, we need to create scripts and systems to protect our time and set up a vetting phone script and a questionnaire where I hit on a couple of tough questions early in the conversation to see if their beliefs and preconceived notions are out of line. If they are, I can refer them to someone else, which is good for your business, and move on, get back to billable time without ever leaving my desk for that 5-hour chase down the rabbit hole of tire kickers and BS false sense of reality about what design and permitting costs. That's hurting my bottom line. That's my own mirror time for the downtime over the holiday this year. And my goals for 2016 are going to reflect that I've resolved that. So stay tuned. If you want more information about this or wonder what I'll be doing to set up this resolution for me next year, email me at aaron@bybllive.com, and I'll be happy to share.
Okay, folks. Well, that ought to get your brain spinning a bit as you go into your holiday and hopefully get some downtime to reflect on your business in 2015. Now, Aaron mentioned that we'd be touching on what's coming up for BYBL, and you wouldn't want to miss it. So here's the deal. What we have in store for next year is insane. The amount of time and work behind the scenes preparing to give you crazy amounts of content, implementable information, and high-end training, you wouldn't believe it if we told you about the blood, sweat, and tears that we've been putting into this over the last 3 or 4 months, getting ready. And the very first thing that we're going to do is launch, based on your exact requests from the hundreds of business owners that we've talked to in this past year, is a standalone marketing training based on our most asked for topic from our $10,000 high-end training program. But not only that, look, based on your real input and needs as small business owners, we've responded on how you want to do this training and even your requested price. Now, we made this into a DIY program that you can take at your own pace, and we put the price right in the range that you all said that you'd jump on, point blank. So many of you told us that you would buy it today at this price. Now, you knew you needed the training and want to take this on at your own pace at a price that you could afford. So
Yep.
you asked, and we listened, and that is what 2016 is going to be all about. But I tell you what, Aaron and I talked about this, and as an end-of-the-year gift to you, to the people in our small business community, we're going to do something special.
Right.
We'll be setting up the launch for this in the next couple of weeks, at which point it's going to go public to tens of thousands of people. But as a member of our small business community, you're going to get an additional 30% discount on the price. How's that sound for a Christmas present to your company as you prepare to crush it in 2016? So if you want to learn about the system, how to market your business and services to boomers better, so you can quit wasting money on advertising that doesn't work and wishing you had more customers, you go to bybllive.com/booming your brand. This discount is only going to be available for a few days, so don't miss it.
You betcha. Amen to that. Hey, look, folks, quite simply, we're giving you what you said you need, how you need it, when you need it, and now even at the price you needed it to be. So I hope you're as excited as we are for the upcoming year. You can knock it out of the park next year, and we're here to help ensure that you get what you need to make that happen for your small business. What you need to decide is that now is your time. You can't wait any longer. That daily grind, the 60 hours, the not enough money, you're done with it. It's time for major change so you can see major results in 2016. You do your part, we'll do ours, we promise. So go to bybllive.com/booming your brand and take advantage of this special discount.
Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode of Booming Your Bottom Line for companies and owners serving the boomers. Our goal each and every week is that you're leaving a little bit more inspired and with the ammunition you need to make your business better. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, be well, be bold, and boom your bottom line.